everyone, my name is Rihanna Luna. Today is September 30th, 2018. We are currently in week 4 studying the lymphatic system. I'm going to be showing you some structures today and explaining how the lymphatic system flows throughout our body. So we will start with the structures that we are to identify. I'm going to start the lower right part of the body here. This structure here is the appendix. Right here in the intestine area, you can find the Peyer's patch. Right above it, this purple structure is the spleen that is actually attached to the stomach. You don't see the stomach in this diagram here. The thymus is located here. We have the tonsils, the structure here. Under the armpit, we have the axillary lymph nodes, and then the cervical lymph nodes are here in the neck. Cervical lymph nodes here. Okay, so now how to explain how the lymph flows throughout the body. I'm going to bring up this structure that I kind of wrote up to help me explain how it works. So in the body, we have capillary beds that are basically blood capillaries. And how does lymph get created? So through osmotic pressure, out of the capillaries, fluid is released out and back in to the capillary bed. However, more fluid goes out of the capillaries than back inside. So this fluid that's outside of the capillary bed is actually lymph gets created. Lymphatic capillaries are formed. Inside of them is the lymph, and it travels through the lymph vessels. All throughout the body, we have these lymph vessels. So lymph is actually created everywhere throughout the body instead of just like one location. The lymph vessels actually have one-way valves that push the lymph all the way in the direction towards the neck, depending on where it's formed. But the flow is always going towards the neck of the body. How does the lymph travel through the body? It's usually by smooth muscle and skeletal muscle contractions. Our body is constantly moving, so with the help of the smooth muscle and skeletal muscle, it helps push the lymph in the direction of the neck. After the lymph vessels, the lymph goes through the lymph vessels, you go through lymph nodes, and then back to lymph vessels, and eventually to the lymph ducts. Through the lymph ducts, they go through the intrajugular vein back to the heart. So the intrajugular vein, it actually collects all the lymph from the right side of the upper body. And why does it select this location to enter back into the circulatory system? It's because this location, the intrajugular vein, actually is the lowest pressure compared to arteries, where arteries are the highest pressure. So it's easier for the lymph to enter back into the circulatory system through low pressure points, which happens to be the intrajugular vein, back to the heart. Everything from the lower part, thoracic region, goes back into the subclavian vein, which is also low pressure, and it gets back into the circulatory system. So these two locations is where the lymph actually goes back to the circulatory system, all the way back up to the blood capillary beds, and then this process starts all over again. And this is happening all throughout our body, not just in one location. All right, thank you.